Yay, Chana, we are back with another video. The page it is South African Lead News. Andrew Chauge must be protected at all cost. He is the face of black excellence. He is the man that cannot be bought. Yeah, Patricia Mashale came to the other committee and testified regarding the corruption within the SAPS and so on. And then later on released an audio which was recorded by Mr. Mia, cousin ka Senzomeyo. His full name is Usiabonga Mia. In that audio, Usiabonga Mia recorded his conversation with Andrew Chauge, who was the head of the NPA in the Gauteng division, or should I say South Gauteng division, which means that side of Johannesburg and so on. So in that audio, Uchauge explains that the people that were in the house in the Senzomeyo case misled the police about what happened in that house. In a nutshell, he's saying about Kelly Kumalo, Magakeli Kumalo, Zandi Kumalo, Tumala Madlala, and all of them, they lied to the police. They know that Senzomeyo was not shot by an intruder. There was no intruder in that house. Which is why the case was taken away from South Gauteng division and moved to the North Gauteng division there in Pretoria, where it is full of corruption. That's why the Senzomeyo case was moved there in the first place, because Uchauge was not going to prosecute this case if it was in his division. The good thing about this audio by Uchauge is that it proves that the message song in this country with Labato Amahlano Senkantola awenzanga lutho asukelwa nje. So then I'm going to play this audio in full, and please try and listen to it because it's very important. He specifically says that those guys in the house lied about everything, and then I'll comment afterwards. Please listen.
Till now, says we're not satisfied with the investigators.
Satisfied with the investigators. So, as Mr. Chauge, you were not satisfied.
So we requested them they must be changed and get another team, and that's what happened.
You know why I'm asking, Mr. Chauge? I'm asking because the older team came at home and explained themselves. We understand which we are this team.
Yeah, who were those who came?
First, it was Gininda and them, and then the Gininda with Teleze, I think we understand. So naturally, we are now confused with who are the actual people who are the actual people in the case, you understand. But I'm glad what you are saying, which you are not happy with umsebenzi wobuThelezi no Gininda, that
the people to say this is the person who committed the offense.
Okay.
And in that case, the people in the house will discover that all they are liars.
Okay.
So with that, we needed to do those investigations. The police still have to go back to the people and say, look, I'm a story now, and what sort of things.
Okay.
So which Butelis and Gininda
yes
did not do. You understand?
Okay.
Now you need to have experienced policemen who go there and they assess these people to say, no, look here, this thing. Remember they lied initially about Bakomba Umunumfana Wamakawashi Lapana.
Okay. Yes.
Which is which was the nonsense story and all sort of things.
So
they need to go back to them to say, look, we don't buy the story that there is somebody who came from around coming to commit robbery and whatever.
So according to you, Mr. Chauge, you are mhlampe ngingasho ukuthi ngamanye amazwi you are saying ukuthi there is no one who came in.
Our theory now, from where we're sitting,
yes,
we suspect that the shooting happened amongst the people inside the house.
Okay.
Not that kuze umuntu from somewhere as a commit a robbery and Hello? Hello? Yeah. What is this now? Hello?
Yes, no problem.
What I'm saying,
Yes.
Mayor, is the following.
Yes.
From our assessment, when
Yes.
we read the statements and
Yes.
the whole thing,
Yes.
we don't think, and there is somebody who came from outside that got into a robber apartment.
Okay,
So
yes.
it's a nonsense story. There's nothing like that.
There's nothing like that.
Yeah, we suspect that the shooting happened amongst the people
Inside the house. Okay. So
This is what this crack team must go in.
they must put this theory into, yes, and then from there what will happen?
No, once they've identified who is what, they will have to arrest that person.
So now I'm a suspect and he has a detect.
I'm a suspect. That's why I get it. From our theory.
As ANPA.
Yeah, we think
Okay.
there is no suspect who came from anywhere.
Yes.
The shooting happened amongst
Yes.
the people inside the house.
Yes. So this new team of Carlos and Knight, do they have to prove that? And then from there,
They will be in a position, the prosecutors will be in a position to decide and say, look, the chap who must be charged, but this one is an accessory like this.
so Carlos no Knight basebenza na yipi prosecutor mawukuthi basebenza ne prosecutor.
I'm not so sure.
So Carlos no Knight basebenza na yipi prosecutor mawukuthi basebenza ne prosecutor.
I'm not so sure. That's why I get to go. These documents were taken about 2 months ago.
Okay.
The national office of Mzinyathi no Shamila, they are going to decide.
So uShamila kumele decide ukuthi
Which office
prosecute.
Yeah.
and which office must. So uShamila ngayenza kanjani appointment na ngoba you know this thing ubaba useshonile ogogo nabo nami I don't know what is happening and mhlambe ngayenza kanjani appointment no Khetha Sithole or uShamila.
You see
So
what is happening?
Yes.
Mayor.
Yeah.
I just do not have the contact details of the police. I expect them that they will come to the family in terms of them being the new investigation team. So
Okay.
if I had the numbers, that's why I'm with a child office file and see if you know our contact number so that we can give them to you and then
Yes.
you can phone.
Can I stamp a wait for her with time check her number Carlos no.
That file you sent to me, do you still have it here? The file.
JJ, office file.
Yeah.
JJ.
And it's not
And
answered.
minutes message I have on miss call. I can't talk now. I think he's in a meeting.
Yeah, I think so. I think they said they were supposed to attend the meeting in Pretoria.
We take I can't talk.
But maybe what we should do is try and see if we are able to trace the file either in his office or from.
Or maybe I can come back tomorrow if you guys don't mind.
So that we can give him the telephone numbers of those
Just Sithole and the police.
Those who came, yeah. So I think maybe their numbers should be in the office file.
Okay, you can right now sit in my office and we'll go and try to trace.
No, I don't mind. I can come back. Maybe I can stay a day
Okay.
or come back tomorrow. Mhlampe, I don't know if go to JJ Low corner or because I just want to meet Mhlampe uSithole if possible. Because kumele ngimangibuyele ekhaya emndenini ngibuyele ne.
No, it's fine. That's why I'm saying, let me check if I can't trace it, then we'll make another day, maybe use as access. So I'll go and check in his office if he didn't leave it there.
If you get the number.
Okay, no, ngicela ukuthi sesixoxa nobaba while you are checking.
Hello? Hey. Abshir. If Klaisengel Mishan. Yeah, the way.
Okay. I think we should have come to the end of the audio, isn't it? Who are the people in the audio?
Sifiso Miwa sent me the audio. He said he's his cousin.
There you have it. Andrew Chauke confirms that the people there in the house lied about what happened on the night Senzo was shot. Chauke mentions one thing that is very important. He mentions Uguti. The police initially arrested a wrong man by the name of Zamuhle Mbat. He was arrested because he was pointed out by Kelly Khumalo's mother. So Kelly Khumalo's mother did not do this by mistake. She knew very well what she was doing. She was trying to divert the attention away from the people in the house because they were guilty of something. That is the only conclusion that Chauke came to. If they could lie about Zamuhle Mbat, clearly they could lie about the entire incident, meaning that their story was totally a fabrication of what happened. The people in the house knew very well that the shooter was amongst them, but they decided to protect him because they do not want him in prison. But had they spoken the truth from the beginning, the real triggerman would have been out of prison by now. We know, based on a statement by Mungihlobo, that the shooter of the Senzo Meyiwa is allegedly Longotwala. In the statement it says, Tumela Madlala phoned him and told him that Senzo Meyiwa has been shot ngephutha edutyula ubani uLongotwala allegedly. We were told that he was trying to Senzo Meyiwa was trying to separate the fight between Uzande Khumalo and uLongotwala, but the gun unfortunately went off, and then Senzo was shot in the chest and then lost his life. So clearly, that statement alone should have told Balogun there's something bigger and more in this case. It's not what an intruder. We should not believe in Dabaisho. The clear clue that Ubalo Fanabon would okay, the DNA expert came to court and told him that all 5 men were excluded from the sample taken in the house, meaning that the DNA says Babengeko in the house. If they were there, then the police or the DNA expert would have picked up the DNA Kabani, Kabwantanzi and Ukini Ulo Katamnube, because we were told that Katamnube and Untanzi are the ones that entered the house and demanded money and cell phones. But their DNA is not there. It means they were not there. Clearly. So Ulona Chauke, the case was eventually taken away from South Gauteng Division and moved to Pretoria in the North Gauteng Division, where you find the most corrupt prosecutors, which is why it was sent there. The director of public prosecution knew very well that in that division they're going to accept whatever hogwash and then charge these wrong men, because the state wanted to solve this case and get a guilty verdict so that they can go to the Meyiwa family and say, we have done justice for Senzo Meyiwa. Not knowing Guti, South Africans are not stupid, they are not gullible, they do not believe any nonsense that comes out of anyone's mouth, which is why the case is now before Judge Rata, who is clearly biased. So the defense, I think what they need to do is to call Andrew Chauke to come and explain to court why does he think that the people in the house lied about everything, and why does he believe that the shooter was amongst them. That would in itself create more reasonable doubt in the state case. The more doubt is created, then the judge will be forced to find these guys not guilty. I'm sure Andrew Chauke would not hesitate to come, because Andrew Chauke, as it stands, is also a man in trouble, because now he is in a commission that was created by Ura Maposa, which is investigating his fitness to hold office. So if he comes to court and then tell the truth, why does he believe that wrong accused are before court, it will also help him to improve his image, because at the stands, some people think he's a bad prosecutor, but no, he's not. He's a man that does not believes in hogwash. He cannot be bought, which is why the case was moved away from him and moved to a division le corrupt. So now if he comes before court and says what he says, he will collaborate the evidence kabani ka one of Makhubu, who has been saying the same thing all along. Uti, the 5 men before court were not at the crime scene when Senzo was shot. Makhubu specifically said that he knows accused number 5 very well. And remember, we were told that when the 2 intruders entered the house, Longotwala ran out and the Inkabis did not do anything. And then you believe there was an Inkabi in that house. No ways. If Inkabis entered that house, they would have shot Longotwala when he tried to run away. Why so? Because Inkabis, when they come to the house to commit crime or murder, they make sure that they do not leave any witness. So Longotwala is not going to be allowed to run out. Secondly, Senzo was only shot once in the chest. So if Inkabis really wanted him dead, they would have made sure that he's dead at the crime scene. Maybe they would have fired about 5 shots at him, not 1. But in this case, we were told that there's only 1 bullet that shot Senzo and ultimately took his life. So, Baloyi, I do not know what was his motive, really, because as a prosecutor, your job is to make sure that justice is done. Not to go to you must find people guilty at all costs. No. If your evidence indicates that these men are innocent, then you should never have charged them. And what makes it worse is that the cell phone records of Kada Mncube shows that at the same time when Senzo was shot, he was not at the crime scene. The cell phone of Kada Mncube pinged at Johannesburg CBD at the same time when Senzo was shot, meaning that Kada Mncube was not in Vosloorus because he cannot be in 2 places at once. So the alleged shooter is not at the crime scene. That is based on telephone records. So anywhere else in the world, that person was not going to be charged because technology has absolved them. But no, Baloyi, he doesn't care about the cell phone records of Ukadla Mncube. He just went on ahead and says, no, these guys are the ones that are responsible for the death of Senzo. And you can see that case Baloyi is centered around those 2 disputed confessions. If there were no confessions in this case, the state had no any other evidence because science is against them. DNA says no, Baloyi are wrong. Those guys are not there. The telephone record of Mncube says Kada Mncube was not in Vosloorus. So science alone create more reasonable doubt in this case. But if the defense can call Uchauge to come and explain why did he believe the guys in the house were the one that are responsible for the death of Meyiwa, then more reasonable doubt will be created, which will further enhance the chances of this accused of being found not guilty. So Chauge must be called, and I'm sure that Chauge, he won't have a problem to come because he is the prosecutor, meaning that he's the officer of the court. He's bound to come and tell the truth no matter what. Unlike Baloyi, who is on this path of finding these guys guilty, even though he knows very well that they're innocent. So the defense, I'm hoping that they can get him, Chauge, so that he can collaborate with Makhubu. Makhubu has always maintained that these guys were not there. Remember that Makhubu also did what you call a crime scene reconstruction, where he measured and so on and so on. And then in the end concluded that in that house there was no intruder because 1, there was no forced entry. There were no fingerprints. There was very little blood in the house, meaning that the crime scene was cleaned before the arrival of the likes of Mosia. The only reason why you would clean the crime scene is because you tried to hide something. That's it. Mapiri was told by the real shooter to say, hey, Mapiri, while we are in hospital, please clean the crime scene so that when the police arrive here, there's not much evidence. And then the police arrived there and found very few empty bottles. But we were told that they drank about 24 dumpies of Heineken, Guarana, and so on. But they only found about, I think, 4 or 5 dumpies there, which shows that the crime scene was cleaned thoroughly so that the police could not identify the real shooter. So it's a sad reality that the NPA that we have would go ahead and charge the wrong guys, even though they know that they are innocent. And it is worse for Ntanzi because now Ntanzi was arrested in June 2020 and he had no previous conviction. So now Ntanzi has been in jail for about now 6 years, more or less 5.5 years in prison for a crime that he did not commit. So he has lost about 5 years of his life in prison for Mahala. And Baloyi knows it that this guy is innocent. They tortured him so that he can confess and then implicate the rest of the other guys, which is why they brought Ulonubani, Constable Zungu, to collaborate that fake confession. But at the same time, the state has failed to produce the AVL by Constable Zungu. Remember, Constable Zungu, on the day Senzo died, he was driving the police vehicle. And we know that all police vehicles are fitted with AVL. How do we know so? We know because General Kumala told us that at the Madanga Commission, it is the policy of the SA Police Services that all cars are fitted with an AVL. But Ubalo is saying their car had no AVL. Clearly, it's a lie. Baloyi is saying there was no AVL because the AVL records that are there shows that Constable Zungu was never at the hospital. So if they bring the AVL of Zungu, it will further discredit his story of what he was there at Gwabini's house. Even telephone records, they were not brought before court because his telephone records were going to show where if he was at Foslo, then his telephone record was going to ping somewhere there in Foslo. Then that will prove what you conceal. But because it has not supported the state narrative and they are hiding the telephone record as well, same as the AVL. Truly siyabuka way my thought. Yeah, but in the that came out from that other committee where Upacha Mashale was there, one Chauke confirms that there were no intruders in that house, which is what I've been saying for all along. So now Nisi, Mshololo and Ramosepile get Chauke to court and come and say that under oath and see what Utulo, Ulochenulo, Uchajarata. But I'm sure he will say whatever he says. If he disagrees, then they can take this case to the Supreme Court of Appeal in Bloemfontein, and then fair judges will read the court transcript and then come to a different conclusion, which is not guilty. But we shall see. Thank you for watching.